Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video, folks. In this video, I'm going to show you the best, easiest way to tame a Voidwyrm. Now, this is a structure that we will be using, and I'm just going to kind of show you where I am, so the location. But this is basically where we are. So we are close to the 50-50 area of the map. You see these little structures that we go through to go from one biome to another. So that means there are 4 of these structures in this particular area. I'm going to show you the map. I'm going to show you exactly what we're looking for, and then of course how to use it, how to kite it, how to do everything to, of course, tame a Voidwyrm. Now, that is that structure over there in front. I've seen videos of people using that. Now it's been patched. But this right here, I don't see why it would ever be patched. It is part of the map. And I'm going to show you how to use it as well. So this is what we're looking for right here. You can see these little gaps right here. Now, what we want to do is we want to kite the Voidwyrm right into this area, and as you can see, there's loads of things that we can hide behind. So that means we can fire at the Voidwyrm from the safety of cover. Of course, we may need to constantly reposition, but this right here is actually the best area to be in. There's loads of little cracks and stuff that you can go between. You can always hide behind these objects. And of course, not being destructible does play an advantage. Of course, the Voidwyrm can destroy the structure that we put up, including tech and metal. Over here there is a lip, and if we look, you can see there's a gap. So I'll show you what to do with that gap later in this video. I'll show you quite a few ways to use this as well. Now, I have been testing this quite a fair bit, and I have been getting consistent results. It does make the aspect of taming a Voidwyrm quite easy. Now, in my previous video, yes, that method is very valid. It works. It is not easy, though. So I went back to the drawing board to find a method that would be effective and easy with regards to taming these Voidwyrms. So yeah, this is what we're looking for. We can kind of scoot around here. There's loads of spaces where we can hide and kind of kite the Voidwyrm, but really we want that lip that I showed you before, and I'll show you how to use it. So what do we need to tame a Voidwyrm? First things first, we need a tech rifle, or any weapon of that matter, but tech rifles are the best. We would then need mutagen, and of course mutagen can be obtained from Rockwell's innards, or you can craft it from 800 mutagel. And finally, we are going to need medical brews, because we will take a couple of hits. So of course, you cannot use the medical brews whilst floating around, but you can use the medical brews when you are mounted on the Voidwyrm. So I'm going to put it on third slot because it is easier for me to access, as I will be close to the tech rifle. So let's talk about kiting the Voidwyrm into this area. Now, notice that I am kiting it from a slightly higher point. The Voidwyrm is, of course, behind me. So what I'm going to do is I am going to switch between the fast flight forward, which is shift and control for me. I am playing this on PC, and of course shift to fly fast, but I'm also looking downwards because I do want to kind of keep that momentum working for me. So I want to get close to the edge, and what we're going to do, remember the Voidwyrm does have a big turning radius, and it is kind of hard for it to try and keep up with it. So now what I'm doing is I'm cycling between fast flight forward, and then I'm holding shift, looking downwards, going back to control and shift to fly fast forward, and we'll just keep doing this until we get to the height that we want. Remember, the Voidwyrm is in tow, so not a lot of time for us, and this is the section we want to be in. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to wait for it to catch up, and then I'm going to go right this way, double space to jump when I'm ready, like so, and that gives me protection. So notice that I'm now using the object in the way here. Oh, gotta move to offer me protection. And one thing that you have to keep in mind is that they can sometimes give you a little nip through the items. You can get electrocuted if you are not careful, and it does help if you put your tech rifle away, unlike me. But I am, of course, going to show you how to use this structure to basically kind of kite it in a position where you can fire at it from a safe distance and without being hit. So I just want to see what the Voidwyrm's doing. Okay, so it's repositioning, so that means I'm going to reposition as well. So it's kind of like having a table and getting your enemy to run around the table. That's basically what we're doing here with this particular Voidwyrm. Now I'm going to fire one shot from time to time. I want to make sure that I am hitting it, so I'm not going to waste my tech or element or anything. Just going to position slightly downwards. We want to just be able to tap its hitbox, so that should be good enough. Now, of course, this is a different Voidwyrm. I have tested it with quite a few. Here we go. Here's okay. I didn't know where it was for a second there. And really, you want to be doing it from this side if you can. It does play to an advantage. But also, if you don't want to use the method that I'm going to show you after this, again, I can show you that it does work quite efficient. We do need to slightly move around a wee bit, but as you can see, we can land a couple of hits on it, and we have to take its health down before we mount it to feed it the mutagen. Now, this is what you're looking for. This is the best ideal way of doing it. You can see right there, that's the lip that I was on about. There's a little gap, and we are firing our tech rifle in between the cracks of the gap, which does, of course, keep us safe. So the Voidwyrm wants to get to us, but cannot get to us. We are within its aggro range, but it won't fire its beam, nor will it, of course, try and bite us because we're too far away. So there's two ways you can do with the next section. You can either just brave it and fly underneath the structure, then mount it like this, or of course you can use the structure to play to your advantage, but this is a bit risky what I'm showing you right here. I am showing you that it is quite effective. Now, what is nice about this is, as you can see, the Voidwyrm wants to fly high, but it can't do that because of the roof. We also have the corners, and of course you want to press the E button when it is doing a barrel roll. To be honest, I would probably pay attention to the prompt rather than the visual cue of the Voidwyrm doing a barrel. This is the best way of doing it. So we're going to use that little gap to now mount it. We might get bit or hit a couple of times, but that's fine. And just look at what's happening here. From time to time, as it's flying in its attempt to bite us, we do get a very brief second of the prompt where it says E to ride. So this is what we're looking for. We want to push towards the gap. Now, what's happening here is I'm constantly being pushed down by the Voidwyrm's claws as it's flying. So I just have to basically keep going up to it and wait until I get that prompt to mount it. Once you mount it, of course, as usual, you want to feed it the mutagen, and as you saw there, in between feeds you can now heal. It is locked in a corner, so this should make it easy. When I dismount it, I can remount it fairly quick and easy again. If it does fly around, I will just kite it back into this corner as you saw before. So just like that, makes it easy because it does not have a big radius for it to fly, so it flies straight into our direction. This can be a bit iffy. Of course, you can always use the lip to mount it again, so kite it into the lip. Now, sometimes you may get lucky and you may be able to kite the Voidwyrm into this specific area that it is right now. I will show you this area later, but if you do manage to get it here, the Voidwyrm does get stuck on the structures. So that means even when you have to take it out after you've tamed it, you still have to use a cryopod. But that does help quite a bit because it's unable to fly away. It's just doing its own flappy thing right here, as you can see. And all we need to do is just feed it the mutagel. And shortly you will have a tamed Voidwyrm. It doesn't knock you off it too far. Of course, the Voidwyrm will knock you off. Now, I did panic once or twice and accidentally dismount it, but this is what level it came out. And it was a fairly easy tame to tame, actually, to be honest. So let me show you where the Voidwyrm was tamed. That is that spot right there. There's like a little crater, nook, cranny, whatever you want to call it. If you are able to kite it into that area, then kudos to you. It is not going to be easy, but I wanted to show you this as well because, for example, right now the Voidwyrm is on follow, but it cannot get itself out. So the only way to get it out is with a cryopod. But what I showed you before should make life easy enough for you with regards to taming the Voidwyrm. Okay, so let me show you the two areas that I was on about. So again, we have these lips right here that we can fly through. This is where I had that Voidwyrm. It was quite by accident, and you can try and deliberately kite it in here, but it's going to be a bit of a tough one. I'll leave that to you folks. And finally, on the other side, we have that little lip that you can see right there, and this is where I mounted it. And of course, so I had the Voidwyrm kind of come from this direction. It wanted to get to me. Of course, Voidwyrms do want to gain altitude as they fly. There's another one right here, but I personally prefer the other one on that side, and so that also offers us the opportunity to safely mount it. You see, the problem I had with Taming the Voidwyrms was not bringing their health down, was with mounting. So this is why I wanted to show this, because this makes the process of mounting it quite easy, especially seeing as the Voidwyrm does want to knock you off a couple of times. Well, will knock you off a couple of times. It's that process of getting back on the Voidwyrm's back that I struggled with. So of course, as a result, I spent a lot of time trying to find a feasible solution for taming the Voidwyrms with the use of structures that are already in place, because yes, the Voidwyrms can damage the metal structures as well as text structures. There's no point in wasting resources in those. It's not efficient at all. So of course, I'm always out to find the best, most efficient, easiest way for people to achieve difficult tasks, such as, for example, taming the Voidwyrm, as I did in this video, and I don't see why this will be a thing that'll get patched. Realistically, we're just using structures in the game that already exist. It's not like it's a bug or anything, but we're just making the best of what we get given. With that being said and done, that is pretty much it for this video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it and found it useful and informative. If you have, please don't forget to support me in the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Link to this, of course, you can find down below in the video description. And until next time, stay safe, folks.